Hello everyone, you're watching Newegg TV. I'm Jennifer, and today I'm going to be giving you a product overview of these Arion soundstage speakers with subwoofer. Let's take a look now at the overall construction and design of these speakers. Now they are wood cabinet with this kind of neutral wood look veneer over them to allow them to blend into pretty much any decor or studio space wherever you choose to use them. On the front of the subwoofer you'll notice there's a volume button knob. Rather, not a button, knob, and a bass control knob that'll allow you to adjust bass in the subwoofer as you go, and you can kind of do sound adjustment as you're listening to things. Over here on the mid-range and tweeter speakers, these are called the satellite speakers. You can see we have the tweeters up top and the mid-range speakers on the bottom. Now, Arion has constructed these with what they call a kind of a soft yet firm material. It feels a little bit like maybe a rubber type of composite rather than paper cone for their drivers. The drivers on the satellite speakers measure 3 inches for the mid-range and then 1 inch for the tweeter, and the driver on the sub is 5 inches. The overall measurements of the subwoofer is 7.1 inches, so that's here to here, 9.2 inches deep by 9.2 inches wide, so not quite a cube, whereas the satellites are just under 6.5 inches tall, 4.3 inches deep, and 3.6 inches wide. So they would be good shelf speakers, or if you had a limited space that you just really wanted to fill with sound, these would be good. You have a total RMS power on these of 25 watts, so that's 15 watts for the sub and 5 each for the satellite speakers. And you also have a total peak power on these of 50 watts. The frequency response is 50 hertz to 18 kilohertz. So connecting these to your system or your device is as simple as taking the RCA to 3.5 jack here, plugging that into the audio in, left and right, plugging this into your device or your sound mixer or your stereo, what have you. Anyway, needs a 3.5 millimeter jack there. Over here you're going to take your left, which is color matched on these RCA plugs here, and your right, and then away you go. Let me unplug that really quickly, move them out of the way. Your power switch is right here, on and off, and then your power plug. Here is a screenshot of the frequency response recorded by true RTA software. A perfect speaker or driver would produce a straight flat line. This is impossible in the real world. A standard driver result will have peaks and valleys in the line like the one here. But let's imagine its ideal output is above where this yellow line is. Anything far above this line is considered louder than it was expected to be. The opposite is true for a response much lower than the line. Remember that because a perfect driver is impossible, we will always have dips or highs. Our test records frequencies starting at 20 Hz up to 20 kHz while in a real-world, non-laboratory setting. In other words, we do the test in the office without the use of soundproofing. The frequency response of a driver set will vary depending on the manufacturer's design and the intended use case scenario. A driver's frequency response is akin to its abilities to reproduce tones or sounds from musical instruments. The lower frequencies equate to lower tones, bass guitar, kick drums, etc. Higher frequencies to higher tones, a crispness of a snare or a sizzle of cymbals, and everything in between, so mid-range vocals, pianos, violin, trumpet, you get it. Back to the test. We see some areas that are a bit further above and below the yellow line. These are indicators of recorded tones below or above the anticipated decibel SPL, or decibel sound pressure level. Drawing your attention to the left side of the chart, notice the recorded response is below the yellow line. That translates to tones from 20 Hz to about 38 Hz are not as loud as the test expected. The deep bass tones wouldn't seem as loud on this speaker set, although they weren't designed for that either. The frequency response of this driver set is designed to be between 50 Hz and 18 kHz, represented here by the red and green lines. Anything to the left of the red line and to the right of the green line are frequencies that this driver set wasn't designed to reproduce. However, the yellow highlighted areas on the right at 5 kHz 6 through 9 kilohertz and 15 through 18 kilohertz are shown higher than expected sound reproduction. That means that some of the highs, like cymbals or crisp sounds, may seem louder. Okay, well that wraps up this product overview of the soundstage speakers with subwoofer from Arion. If you found this video helpful or informational, please like it and subscribe to our various YouTube channels. Until next time, I'm Jennifer, and thank you for watching Newegg TV.